For this important briefing. It is my pleasure to welcome back General Cartwright, the Vice Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who has been intimately involved in this operation from its very beginning and all the way through last night, and is going to brief you on some of the details of that. So, General, thank you again for joining us.
Let me give you just a couple of pieces, and then we'll run a video to give you a sense of what we saw last night. At 10:26, the Lake Erie launched a Standard Missile 3 from the Pacific. They were northwest of Hawaii. At 10:50, the Joint Space Operations Center out in Vandenberg confirmed a breakup of the satellite. The intercept occurred at 153 nautical miles above the Earth. And what I'd like to do is run the videos. We have two videos here. The first one is essentially the launch and the flyout. The second one is the intercept. That's the launch. And this is the second video. That's the satellite. It's right at the hit. And so what you're seeing, if you slow it down, what you'll see there is you'll see the intercept, you'll see the hit of the mass. There you go. And what we're watching right now is this cloud that's forming right here. And I'll walk you through a little bit of what we think we're seeing there. Our objective was to intercept the satellite, reduce the mass that might survive reentry, vector that mass as best we could into unpopulated areas, ideally the ocean, breach the hydrazine tank so that we could vent the hydrazine off, the toxic fuel, and then have all of that done prior to impact. The intercept occurred. You just saw that. We're very confident that we hit the satellite. We also have a high degree of confidence that we got the tank. We're still working our way through that. We will not be at a point where we are ready to say for sure, but let me give you a sense of what we've got. We have a fireball, and given that there's no fuel, that would indicate that that's a hydrazine fire. We have a vapor cloud that formed. That, again, would be likely to be the hydrazine. We also have some spectral analysis from airborne platforms that indicate the presence of hydrazine after the intercept. So again, that would indicate to us that the hydrazine vented overboard in some quantity, and we're starting to see that in space. Any one of those as a standalone is not a smoking gun, so we're putting the pieces together. I would tell you that it's probably going to take us another 24 to 48 hours to get to a point where we are very comfortable with our analysis that we indeed breached the tank. The imagery that we have, the high definition imagery that we have, indicates that we hit the spacecraft right in the area of the tank. So each of the pieces put together, we're pretty confident, but we're not standing there. I don't have a picture that shows you a tank. What we have afterwards is a debris field. We're tracking that debris field. It is already starting to re-enter. We're seeing re-entries in the Atlantic and the Pacific right now. And we'll track that over the next 24 to 48 hours. It generally takes us about a day to 2 days to start to get a good sense of each piece of material that's up there. Thus far, we've seen nothing larger than a football, which tells us that we're in the right area. But again, it's not conclusive because it's going to take us more time to make sure that we've got all of the reporting in, we've been able to correlate the data. Most of what we see in space, we use radar to see. So when you use radar at that kind of distance, you may see an object that appears large, but it could be that it's reflective and not actually large in mass. And so we're trying to work our way through that. And after you see several passes, you'll see a change in angles, and then you'll be able to correlate the data and understand that you either have a large object or you have a small object that's just glinting. And so that's what we're trying to work our way through right now. As I said, we do have some re-entries beginning. We expect that that will continue through the day today and into tomorrow. All of the activity that we went through last night We provided updates through the night to the State Department so that they could keep their embassies informed. So that reporting has gone out. We are standing by for consequence management. We have seen nothing yet in the way of reporting or in the way of reentry that has survived to the Earth. Okay, we have reentry in the atmosphere, but we don't necessarily have anything hitting the Earth. And so those are the key pieces of information that we have this morning. Obviously, as we went through the process last night, from the Secretary taking his brief about 8 hours prior to the shot, General Chilton from Strategic Command recommended